Relax. Take your time. And take your time to trust in me, and you will find infinity.
Yes. My name is Pia Kalhof. I'm Danish and I live in Norway. I lived in Norway for 24 years. And how I became a facilitator? Was that the question?
Yes.
How?
And why?
And why? I was an art therapist. I was a nurse and then I became an art therapist and started working as an art therapist. And I was at some courses with family constellation, which fascinated me very deeply. So it was not a question of if I wanted to be a facilitator. I was pushed in a way. I was working with a client and then I had a feeling of a knock on my head saying family constellation. I thought, well, that was a stupid feeling, and I went on talking with my client about the work, about the painting, and then it came again, just don't, family constellation. And I was just shaking my head again, no. And the third time it came, I said, okay. And then I was not sure because I didn't know so much about family constellation and I didn't look at myself as a facilitator. So I asked the client about something in the picture. It said three different things. So could you say one word about these? And she said some words about these three objects on the picture. And then I said, so if you should tell something about your mother, could that fit with this? Or yes, it's just like, you know, that's how my mother is. And the next was her grandmother and her great-grandmother. And then I knew. So that was my first, and then I used a sentence I learned, and that was the start. And then it just became more and more that I had the feeling of family constellation into my working with the art therapist or art therapy. So that was my start. So I didn't think that I should do it. I was pushed, and I called my teacher and said, I just done this and this. Is it right? Was it wrong? No, it was good. And then I just, it was just a feeling. I get goosebumps, or it's just a feeling, and then I used it, and then it became more, and people wanted something from me, and then I started having groups, and then I started having more groups. Now I combine art therapy and family constellation in groups.
And what would you say, or how do you feel, what is maybe very important for being a facilitator, a good one?
A good one. For being a facilitator and a good one. That is, the first is non-judgment. Non-judgment of yourself, non-judgment of the client, and non-judgment of all in the family. So you're looking at the same on all the clients and also all the family members. Whoever is, whoever belongs. So I look at the same love or in the same light. So that is the first. The next one is that there's no saving, no helping, no intentions, but going or serving the next step that is ready for the client. So I think that's a good.
Yeah, and
facilitator.
From you told me you regularly attend training seminars. Why is that? because you have finished your education and you still do go every year once or twice to Bad Hellinger or some other?
Because I can't stop it. It's someone wants something from me, and I'm also pushed from somewhere behind. So, say this way, I'm just following my movement, and it's for me when I work. It's an honor, and it's very big. The heart goes big, like boof, boof.
Mm. And what would you say? How do you prepare for a client or before the workshop?
Yes, it changed over the years, very, very much. Before I needed 2 weeks to go deep inside, and now I do normally things. I withdraw a little bit. I feel myself withdrawing just before. And I don't think, but I had the feeling I'm tuning in to the group. Sometimes I may be just a little bit more quiet, but I don't think. And now I don't plan. I surrender to what will turn up. And that is the best way for me now.
And do you have any after effects of facilitating a workshop and constellations we did? And if you do have some after effects, how do you deal with them? What is your... How do you take care of yourself?
Yes, that's a very good question. And a very important question, because sometimes I don't feel it when I work, because it feels pure when I work. But after, if something have touched me very deeply, something that is not finished in me or not really have come together, then it needs time to heal in me. If there's a resonance in me with something. And I need time. I just need to rest. I need at least 24 hours. I need 24 hours to allow things also to go through. Just like it has to be, there's a movement going.
And how do you do that allowing? Do you go take some walks in park or take a shower? What?
Normally things. It depends on my family. Sometimes if they need me to do things, I do things. And so I actually just do normally things. But I like being more quiet, and I like walking. I like going for a walk in the forest, have a bath, just being nice to me. And never judge myself for my work. I learned from Bad Hellinger that you just keep moving on. And you never look back. You just move on. Slowly again. One step. And the next step.
And if you take a look at your path of developing yourself as a facilitator, what would you say, what do you see as a change you have lived through from the very start when you first began facilitating constellations up to now? What were the changes that you can notice within yourself?
Wanting control from the start, controlling the movements, controlling everything, controlling myself, from surrendering and leaning back and trusting whatever comes up, comes up. So that is surrendering and being humble. And I think that must be the two essential words. Yes.
And how do you feel what will happen in the future?
How I feel?
Yes.
Wow.
I don't mention planning.
I don't, no, because I don't have plans. I have just
I
opened
purposefully use the word feel. How do you feel?
Whatever opens up. I have moved into another step, and a bigger step, with an openness, where I see all the roads. And I will allow myself to... I have this year now where a Sabbath year where I will do something good for myself, and I will allow myself to see where is I'm drawn to, or where am I needed, where do people need me, or where do I go. So I don't have the plans are going where there's flow, there's an opening.
And maybe the last question, but not the easy one. For those of facilitators who are married, have a partner, how do you balance that? Especially if there are some after effects of facilitating constellations within your family. How do you balance that kind or that part of life with the one when you are acting as a facilitator, leading the group?
The first that comes to my mind is that I will not put a pressure on them, or I need to withdraw, and I need to tell them that right now something is happening in me which has nothing to do with you, that I need to just be for myself for a while. And then normally the kids, okay. But if I don't listen to that and I try and cover it up, then kids will react, or the husband will react in some ways. So the main thing is that I have to be true to myself in my work, but also for my family, and being grateful to my family that they allow me to do my work.
Pia, thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Thank you.
Take your time to trust in me, and you will find infinity.